Hey guys, Youngblood with you. Today I wanted to go ahead and continue with our little 2.1 PTU updates to kind of show off the new hangar ready ship, which is going to be the Aegis Sabre. And this thing is beautiful. One of the first things you'll actually notice is, as far as size is concerned, it's pretty consistent with some of the smaller fighters, and it's actually smaller than some of the other ones that we've seen, but here it is next to the glaive, or basically sitting inside the glaive. But one of the things that I notice is just standing on the side of it is how thin this ship actually is, which I think is going to help play into its overall stealthiness that this ship is supposed to have. So outside of being purpose-built to be a stealthy ship, its cross-section signature is automatically going to be pretty low. And if the IR and EM signatures are low as well, this thing's going to be hard to pick up. And you know, when we compare it to something like a Hornet, it's just a much less mass heavy of a ship. Now the design overall is really sharp. Compared to like something like the Vanguard over there, it carries over a lot of the Aegis design qualities that I think we're used to seeing. And it's also just really, really sharp looking. I like the look of it. It's unique in a lot of different ways. Like you'll see here the red colored glass on it. That red glass isn't actually impacting your view from the inside, so it's almost like a two-way glass in a way. But between that and these large engine intakes, and now with some ships it's been said that these aren't engine intakes, these are more like retro thrusters to help you like stop your ship. But whatever it is, it does have that same design characteristic because the Vanguard has those on the front as well. Aside from that, you also have like cooling or intake there and cooling or intake there. And probably one of the most striking aspects of this ship is the size 3 weapons that are hanging off of it. You end up having 2 that are fixed and 2 that are gimbaled, meaning that a small ship carrying a ton of firepower is just kind of a nasty combo, and that's what the Gladius is actually all about, aside from the stealth piece of it. So it's gonna end up being probably a relatively fragile ship, but I think it gets a little bit of durability back from actually being having the redundant systems that the Vanguard has. And in addition, back here we get the 2 size 3 engines, which I think is actually pretty exciting because we know how the Gladius performs right now, and the Gladius is one of my favorite ships, and this thing only weighs 2,000 kilograms more than the Gladius does, but has an extra size of engine on both, so that's pretty impressive. And then another note would be that the maneuvering thrusters on this ship are actually size 2s instead of size 1s, and you can kind of see one up there. But ultimately, that means this thing is actually going to be able to move very effectively, making it maneuverable, fast, powerful. I mean, when you look at this ship, it's really kind of it's going to be a pest. I mean, this thing is going to be a nightmare for people to deal with, but it's going to be interesting to see how it all gets balanced out. Getting in the cockpit is very fancy looking. It is more updated, and I think that's one of the things that actually is kind of playing into the lore and design of this ship effectively. We know that the Aegis is the Gladius is an old Aegis design, and we kind of know what it should look like and how it should interact. You can see here within the Sabre, the screens are kind of lit up in this nice blue. You get the red design, you get a nice visibility all around it. You notice there's not the red coloration on the screen. There is a lot of good here with the Sabre, and I think it's just one of these ships that's going to be a ton of fun to fly, and it's going to be interesting to see how it actually performs once we get into the persistent universe. So there you have it. That's the Sabre, just kind of a quick look around at it. If you have any questions about this ship, let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned for a whole lot more content coming soon. We'll keep updates pumping as we get them, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.